Good evening and welcome to Staplewood for tonight's live Premier League Cup coverage. Southampton currently top Group B and at the halfway point with 3 games to go. They'll be hoping to extend their position this evening against Cardiff City. The side currently bottom of the 14 table and without a win from their 3 matches so far. Saints under-23s manager Radi Jaidi makes 4 changes to his side that beat West Brom here in Premier League 2 on Monday night. Kingsley Latham in goal. It's a back 4 of Jan Valery, Alfie Jones, Aaron O'Driscoll and Will Wood. Ben Rowthorne in Callum Slattery will shield that back 4 just in front. An attacking 3 of Nathan Teller wide right, Tyreek Johnson down the left and Will Smallbone just in behind the lone striker this evening of Michael Obafemi. And on the bench for Southampton, Richard Bakary, Jack Rose, Thomas O'Connor, Sif Madalosa and Olufella Olumola. As we said then, Southampton currently top of Group B after 3 games. They followed up an opening match defeat to Watford with back-to-back wins over Cardiff in the away match and Blackburn to leave them 2 points clear of Rovers in second. Cardiff without a win, 2 draws and 1 defeat. That leaves them bottom of the group, but they will move second with a win tonight. Remember, it's the top 2 teams who will progress to the knockout stages. As we said then, 4 changes to Saints' side this evening to the one that beat West Bromwich Albion here at Staplewood on Monday night in Premier League 2. The 4 dropping out: Jack Rose to the bench, Sam McQueen, Josh Sims and Jake Hesketh. It will be Cardiff to get us underway this evening. Referee Adam Penwell just going through his final checks. The Cardiff lineup for you then. They'll match Saints this evening, 4-2-3-1. George Ratcliffe in goal. It's a back 4 of Paul McKay. Matthew Connolly will bring the experience, the 30-year-old centre-back for the Bluebirds tonight, alongside Kieran Brown and Reece Abruzzi at left back. They're holding midfielders Danny Rowe and Jacob Evans, both on trial. Evans from Swindon and Rowe from QPR. It's Mark Harris wide right, Kadeem Harris wide left, and Scott McLean in that number 10 role in behind the lone striker Ogo Obai. On the bench for Cardiff, Lloyd Humphreys, Warren Burwood and 2 more trialists in the form of Michael Giassi and Corey Watson. Early touch for Tyreek Johnson, one of the star performers in Saints' 3-2 win against West Brom on Monday. Got himself a goal in that game as well. We'll again try and provide that threat for Southampton down the channels. Paul McKay with the throw in for Cardiff. One back well in the middle of the park by Slattery with a bit of help from Valery as well. They'll find Johnson. A younger looking side from Southampton this evening, obviously with McQueen, Sims and Hesketh dropping out. Rose to the bench. Still plenty of experience out there though. Will Wood, one of the men, coming back in at left back. Will Smallbone, Nathan Teller and of course goalkeeper Kingsley Latham coming in as well. The early strike goal was there from Mark Harris. Takes a deflection and referee points to the penalty spot, says it came off of an arm. And inside the opening 2 minutes, Cardiff have themselves a penalty. Scott McLean with the cross. Cleared and then fired back in towards O'Driscoll. It's the right arm it hit. Have a lot of time to get out the way of it. Big moment for Kingsley Latham back in goal this evening. Up against Mark Harris, Wales international at under 21 level. Harris, great save by Latham down low to his right hand side. We said it was a big moment for the 19-year-old. straight into the action, and that's a big save to keep the scoreline level. Harris with the penalty. Latham going the right way, and a great save as well, not just to keep it out but to get it away from the danger area as well. More defending for Southampton to do. Dealt with at the front post by the tall left back Wood. Valerie gives the free kick away. Again, another chance for the Bluebirds to deliver the ball into the Saints box. RDJD side up against it early on in this match. Good cross in. Header not dealt with at the back post. Eventually Southampton will clear. Space for Slattery. Lovely early ball forward in search of Nathan Teller, who just came in from that right touchline. Well picked out there from Slattery. Teller couldn't find the control to match. Got his head up early. Teller find himself in behind the Cardiff back line. Touch just a little heavy, and it'll be a first touch of the evening for George Ratcliffe, 17-year-old goalkeeper for Cardiff tonight. One of the only players from their under-18 side, or former under-18 side. Cardiff merged the under-18s and under-23s last year. Teller. Smallbone. Low in, comes back to Teller. Blocked on the 6-yard line for Cardiff. Another bright moment for Southampton, and again Nathan Teller involved for Saints. Rowthorne to Alfie Jones, the Saints captain this evening. Smallbone. No room for Tyreek Johnson, so he'll go back to Ben Rowthorne. And Slattery, lovely 1-2. Slattery gets it back, goes down under the challenge from Danny Rowe. Free kick to Saints, and Slattery stays down. It's that chance again for Southampton. Lovely ball across the face from Smallbone, not dealt with by Cardiff, came back to Teller. Would have had to squeeze it through two Cardiff players and the goalkeeper as well. That's better from Southampton, having nearly gone behind inside the opening 3 minutes here. A penalty save from Kingsley Latham, keeping it all square early on. A chance now for Slattery, potentially the right-footed option, or Will Wood, the left-footed option for Saints. Saw a brilliant free kick here on Monday night from Sam McQueen. Not quite as far out, not quite as central. Will be Wood, lower this time, bounces in front of Ratcliffe, who claimed well. Will Wood, Sussex born, been at the club since the age of 12, back in the side at left back this evening for McQueen. Could see what he was trying to do there, get a bit of dip on the ball. Straight out Ratcliffe. Headed clear by Reece Abruzzi. Wood. It's too long for Johnson. O'Driscoll, another Saints goal scorer here on Monday night against West Brom. His first of the season for the under-23s. Lovely ball forward in search of Johnson. Did well there just to get round the outside of Paul McKay. Couldn't keep it in though. Six goals for Tyreek Johnson so far this season for the under-23s. Kingsley Latham, the hero already. Kadeem Harris, one of two first team players in the Cardiff lineup this evening, along with Connolly at the back. Forward to McLean. Pulled back in search of Obai. Under pressure from Wood there. Mackay to wind one up. Obai with the header. Marked closely by O'Driscoll. Back out to Abruzzi. Shot charged down there by Teller. One back though by Kadeem Harris. Marked closely by Jan Valery, the France under-17 international for Saints at right back. Signed back in 2016 from Stade Rennais. 2015 I should say, signed his first pro contract in 2016. Corner in. Connolly was the man up with the header. He will provide the experience, that's for sure, for Cardiff this evening. Here's that penalty again. It was driven in from Mark Harris. Hit the right arm of O'Driscoll. Didn't have a lot of time to get out of the way of it. Did Aaron O'Driscoll. And that penalty save again from Kingsley Latham. Brilliant down low to his right hand side. It was a good penalty from Harris. Heading into that corner if it wasn't for Latham. He'll be pleased with that on his return to the side. Cross in from Kadeem Harris. Bouncing inside the 6-yard box, but Wood will come away with it. O'Driscoll in front of his man. Wins a free kick. Another cold and crisp evening at Staplewood. Connolly, strong header from the 30-year-old at the back for Cardiff. Evans. Slattery in search of Smallbone. Good pressing from Teller there. Almost won the ball back for Saints. Abruzzi will come forward for Cardiff. Harris. Mark Harris, that is, finds Kadeem Harris. Evans forward to Abruzzi. Marked closely by Valery. Good pressing again from Saints. Abruzzi with the delivery towards the back post. Latham thought about coming, didn't. Obai nearly got on the end of it at the back post. Good delivery in. I'll be trying to bring it under control. Probably should have pulled the trigger. Cardiff, you'd have to say, have had the best of the chances so far this evening. Couple of moments from Saints at the other end though, particularly for Nathan Teller. One shot that was blocked on the 6-yard line by 2 Cardiff players. Radi Jaidi, of course, the former Saints centre-back, man in charge of the under-23s. 42-year-old, more than 50 appearances for Saints. Jones will try and find Teller again down that right-hand side. Abruzzi with the throw for Cardiff. O'Driscoll, Slattery. Space for O'Driscoll to come forward and find Wood. Early ball forward in search of Obafemi. Smallbone to Teller. Teller whips one in towards Obafemi. Good clearance at the back by Matthew Connolly. Obafemi sniffing around there inside the 6-yard box. That was an important clearance by the centre-back for the Bluebirds. A lovely ball in from Nathan Teller. Shifted out of his feet early. In between the defence and the goalkeeper, Obafemi couldn't get on the end of it. Slattery to deliver to the front post. Wood, Oathbourne. Tyreek Johnson in there, just beaten by the offside trap. George Ratcliffe into the Cardiff side this evening for Warren Burwood, who drops to the bench. Obafemi. Wood, it's over the head of Obafemi. Cleared by Connolly. Fair bit of height difference between those two this evening. Wood to Smallbone. Nice link up on the edge of the box with Obafemi. Push back to Slattery. Can't find Valerie. Cardiff will try and break now through Kadeem Harris. Nathan Teller just trying to recover along with Slattery. Will give the foul away. Taken quickly to Obai. Again, Saints will be on their toes for that long ball in from the throw-in. Slattery with the headed clearance. Obafemi isolated up top, holds it up really nicely. Support arriving now from Wood. Solid tackle in the middle of the park from Danny Rowe. His opposite number, Rowthorne, will win it back for Saints. Valerie. It's around the outside of Kadeem Harris. Space for him to move into now. Early delivery in search of Obafemi. Tyreek Johnson there at the back post as well. Valerie again for Saints. Does well there. Pulled back to Smallbone. Slattery pulls the trigger. George Ratcliffe. O'Driscoll up well with that header for Saints. Obafemi can't get on the end of it though. Comfortable at the back for the Bluebirds. Saints of course travel away to Blackburn in the Premier League Cup later on this month, and still have an away game at Watford as well, so 2 tough fixtures to come. O'Driscoll with the header, not dealt with. Obai wins it, back for Cardiff. His ball deflects off of O'Driscoll. Good defending in the end from the Irishman at the back for Southampton. Valerie. This ball cut off but gets it back. O'Driscoll, good run from Wood down the left if he wants it and finds him. He can. Flags up for offside against Wood. Well spotted by O'Driscoll there. Wood set off early on that run. Will Wood claims to style himself on former Saints Academy product Gareth Bale. Wood underneath it well again for Saints. Johnson and then Smallbone as well, who will win the free kick for Southampton. Referee Adam Penwell already in the thick of the action this evening, giving that penalty to Cardiff inside the opening 2 minutes. Missed by Mark Harris. I say missed, it was saved by Kingsley Latham, the Saints goalkeeper this evening. If you are just joining us on Saints TV tonight. And the live commentary also available and coverage on the Southampton FC YouTube channel and Facebook as well. Johnson will put pressure under Matthew Connolly at the back for Cardiff. Smallbone is there, the Saints under-18s player playing in the hole in behind Obafemi this evening. Good feet from Obafemi. Space for Valerie. Pass is short for Teller. Abruzzi will break for Cardiff. Good recovery from Teller there. Ball given away from Southampton. Teller sprinting back from inside the Cardiff half to win it back for Saints. Good desire and determination from the right winger. O'Driscoll. O'Driscoll just under pressure there from Ogo Obai. Jones to Teller. Finds Valerie on his outside. And patient play from Saints. Radi Jaid, the manager, calling for tempo. Teller in a central position. Switch play to Wood. Good delivery in from Wood. Cleared by Connolly. Obai. Can't bring it under control. Valerie there to pick his pocket. Slattery finds Wood. Again, early delivery from Wood. Again, Connolly deals with it. Now Jacob Evans, the trialist from Swindon, can come forward for Cardiff. These two sides already met in the competition back in November. Saints 1-0 winners away at Cardiff. Tyreek Johnson with the winning goal. Early cross in from Johnson in search of Obafemi. Couldn't find the finishing touch. Lovely ball in again from Johnson. Testing the Cardiff back line. Out of his feet quickly. Early delivery. Obafemi just couldn't get that touch in front of Kieran Brown, the Cardiff captain. Only needed the smallest of touches to send it past of George Ratcliffe. But again, that's promising from Southampton. Radi Jaidi, the manager, will be pleased with what he's seen since that penalty save from Kingsley Latham early on in this first half. O'Driscoll's clearance charged down by Obai. Runs to McLean. Good defending again from O'Driscoll at the back for Saints. Ball forward in search of Teller. That flag over on the far side, up again for offside. Adam Penwell, the referee, says he will allow play to continue. That goal from Tyreek Johnson in the reverse fixture between these two sides earlier on in the competition back in November, coming in the 80th minute, so it was a late one. Saints had to be patient that day. Tyreek Johnson then sent off as well after scoring that goal for a late tackle on George Ratcliffe, the Cardiff goalkeeper. Jones for Southampton. Early ball forward from Valerie in search of Teller again, just moved in from that touchline. McLean to Rowe, forward to Abruzzi, into Obai. I'll go Obai. Can't get round the outside of Valerie. Good defending there from the Frenchman. Strong play just to shield the ball out. If you missed it earlier on, it's the penalty for Cardiff. It was driven in towards Aaron O'Driscoll, who couldn't get his right arm out of the way. Mark Harris with a fierce strike. Not convinced it was heading in. Might have been going wide. Penalty all the same. It was a brilliant save from Kingsley Latham, the 19-year-old, signed from Yeovil last season. Down low to his right-hand side for Saints. See his teammates there, knew how big a save that was so early on in the game. Not allowing Cardiff onto the front foot. Evans finds Abruzzi. Kadeem Harris pushed infield, does well. Kadeem Harris. Well, blocked by Jones. Latham was scrambling across to his right hand side there. Power behind that strike. Good defending again from the Saints captain. Southampton can try and break here through Slattery. Teller. Rowthorne again just marshalling things in the middle of the park for Southampton. O'Driscoll balls forward, doesn't find Johnson. Good play from Obafemi there, charging down on Ratcliffe, hurrying him into the clearance. Mark Harris finds McKay down the line in search of Tyreek Johnson. Space for Slattery here. He's got options left and right. Finds Obafemi through the middle. Good defending from Risa Baruzzi. Man to man with Obafemi, who gives away the free kick. Michael Obafemi claiming he didn't touch Abruzzi. Lovely ball forward from Slattery. Strong physical play from Obafemi. Slattery waiting and waiting just to try and time that pass perfectly. Good defending in the end from Risa Baruzzi. Wales international at schoolboy level. Right through to the under-20s. Featured in the Toulon tournament as well last summer for Wales, as did Mark Harris, the right winger who of course missed that penalty for Cardiff earlier on in this game. Fair bit of pedigree on the pitch for the Bluebirds tonight. Smallbone finds Teller in space. Pulled back to Smallbone. Couldn't provide the finish. Not cleared though by Cardiff. Connolly hurries it away, but it will come back out to that right-hand side. Pulled back towards Teller. Cleared again by Cardiff. Again, the build-up's there for Saints. Just can't find the finish at the moment. Break on for Cardiff here down the right. Paul McKay, 21-year-old Scottish right back, finds Harris. Good turn from Harris. Early cross. Jones couldn't find the clearance, but Teller is there in support. Clear up towards Obafemi. Abruzzi finds McLean. Right-footed delivery from McLean is an early one. Good claim from Latham. Chance again for Saints. Teller with the pullback. Smallbone trying to send it goalwards. Couldn't get a clean connection on the ball. Cardiff made a bit of a meal of the clearance. No one in a red and white shirt able to capitalise though. Cleared at the back by the skipper for the Bluebirds tonight, Kieran Brown. One of 4 new signings for Cardiff in January. Again, Kadeem Harris. Kadeem Harris! Second time this evening he's pulled the trigger from the edge of the box. Second time it's been charged down by Southampton. Connolly in the side for Cardiff this season as he continues his comeback from an injury. Just the 2 first-team appearances for him this season, but more than 130 for Cardiff throughout his career. Former Arsenal youngster, moved to QPR for £1 million. Good test for the Saints strikers up against him this evening. Smallbone. Good feet and awareness there, just to check back and find Rowthorne. Southampton, of course, on the back of 2 consecutive wins in Premier League 2. Told you about the West Brom one, also beat Stoke as well as Teller comes to the edge of the box, and again early delivery from Teller, dealt with well by Ratcliffe. strong play again from Slattery. Brave play in the middle of the park. Jones. Valerie. Patient game from Saints this evening. Happy to just keep possession, as you'd expect. Wait for that opening. O'Driscoll will try and get something going now down the right. Good control from Valerie. Rowthorne. Slattery. Chased down quickly by McLean. On trial from Kilmarnock. McLean. Teller with the control, but can't hold on to it. Does well to win the ball back though, does Nathan Teller. Support arriving from Wood. Again an early cross from Wood. Dangerous cross. Flashing across the face of goal. It's great play from Teller to win the ball back and then found Wood in space down the left. Brilliant cross from Wood, just no one deep enough inside the Bluebirds box to get on the end of it. I told you earlier how Will Wood models his playing style, if you like, on Gareth Bale. You can see plenty of that there in that driving run forward and cross. And again, Saints will try and find Wood down this left-hand side, which they do again. The cross is early. Teller arriving at the back post. That would have been some goal if he'd made connection with that. Threw himself at the ball there in search of the diving header, Nathan Teller. 110% commitment from the right winger. And again, Will Wood down that left-hand side for Saints. Lovely touch, shifting the ball out of his feet. Lovely delivery again. And again, just lacking that final touch from Southampton. This time it was Nathan Teller throwing himself at the ball. Jones to Latham. Shouts of early from Radi Jaidi, the under-23s manager. Wants play moving quick down this left, which he gets. Will Wood with an early ball in search of Tyreek Johnson. Not early enough. Johnson had already strayed into an offside position. Again, smart play from Saints, just lacking that final bit of quality in terms of the timing of the run. Tyreek Johnson, former Watford Swindon youth man, arrived here back in 2014. Signed his first pro deal in 2015. Johnson and many of this team this evening all too aware of the potential opportunities that may lie ahead, of course, after Obafemi up front for Saints, who was just beaten to the header there, was handed his first team debut last month. Radi Jaidi, no doubt, reporting back to Maurizio Pellegrino after the game this evening. Plenty of positives so far for Southampton. Composure from O'Driscoll at the back and support from Slattery. It's a smart switch of play. Valerie marked closely though by Kadeem Harris. Support arrives from Rowthorne. Kadeem Harris again finds Scott McLean. Isolated McLean will wait for support to arrive, which it does. I'll go Obai, another one of those 4 new signings for Cardiff last month. Lovely 1-2 with McLean. Pulled back by Obai, good defending again from Saints. And for a second time there from Tyreek Johnson, just nipping it away from Scott McLean at the critical moment. McKay. to Jacob Evans. Brown. And Zabruzzi. Cleared at the front post by Valerie. She's had a busy evening so far. Zabruzzi, the left back for Cardiff, and Kadeem Harris, of course, the experienced first teamer, left winger for Cardiff. Been lively down that side for the Bluebirds. Johnson defending on the edge of his own box. Early ball forward in search of Obafemi is cut off, but Saints will win it back through Obafemi. Good feet there to get away from his man. Support from Johnson. Lovely 1-2. Back to Michael Obafemi. Pulled the trigger early. Good recovery from Kieran Brown. Smart link up from Obafemi to Johnson. Continued his run and was found by Johnson. Pulled the trigger early. Good last ditch defending from Kieran Brown. Slattery with the delivery for Saints. Two big centre backs, Jones and O'Driscoll, forward for the home side. Slattery. Punch clear at the back post. George Ratcliffe under pressure back there from Tyreek Johnson. Again, good dangerous delivery from Slattery. Johnson almost up to win the header. Good goalkeeping from George Ratcliffe. This time it's Obafemi who will stand right on Ratcliffe and try and make himself a bit of a nuisance. Unmarked for Saints. Will Wood to deliver the corner in towards Obafemi. Ratcliffe nearly punched into his own net there. Fortunately for him, it bounced onto the ground. Obafemi in there to cause problems, did just that. Perfect corner from Will Wood. Right under the crossbar. I say Ratcliffe nearly punched into his own net. Probably did him a bit of a disservice there under pressure from Obafemi. Did enough in the end, Ratcliffe. Brown with the volleyed clearance. Obai finds Mark Harris. Still Mark Harris. No room for the shot. We'll find Scott McLean. McLean on the pullback. Cut off by Wood. Wood does really well just to push McLean right out to this touchline. And then given away by Paul Mackay. Teller. Find the overlapping run from Valerie. Good cross in from Valerie. Again forcing Cardiff into a last ditch clearance / tackle at the back. Matthew Connolly, the man there just as Tyreek Johnson was lurking. .30 years of age, he's been right up against it at the back for Cardiff at times this evening. Obafemi, Teller and Tyreek Johnson have all been lively up front for Southampton. Another chance to cause problems perhaps with one of these deliveries in swinging from Wood. Again it's right under the crossbar, and again Ratcliffe under pressure from Obafemi. Can't claim, this time wins the free kick. Cardiff thought better of it and sent Obai back on this occasion to try and help out his goalkeeper, but failed to do so. And again Obafemi tussling with Ratcliffe. This time referee Adam Penwell says too much. But a definite ploy from Southampton in this first half to test the 17-year-old goalkeeper for Cardiff from those in-swinging corners. Slattery. Nice Teller, not quite on the save wavelength. Ratcliffe clears. McLean, early ball forward in search of Kadeem Harris. Like Matthew Connolly, Kadeem Harris on his way back from injury. That's perhaps why he finds himself in action this evening rather than with the first team at the moment. Just the one first team appearance from this season. Had ankle surgery in the summer. These games and this competition, of course, can provide that valuable game time for first team players as well. Teams limited to how many over the age of 23 they can include. Paul McKay with the throw-in. Will Wood up with the clearance. McKay to, I'll go Obai. Obai pulls the trigger. Lively up front for the Bluebirds so far. I'll go Obai. Good play from McLean. Early ball to find the feet of Obai. Marked closely by Jones. Again, just squeezed him out enough to make it difficult for Obai to find the angle to get the shot on target. Just the 1 minute of added time then at the end of this first half. Very little to pick between the two sides so far. Cardiff, of course, with the best opportunity to take the lead from the penalty spot. Missed by Mark Harris inside the opening 3 minutes. Great save from Kingsley Latham down low to his right-hand side. And both sides have had chances since then as well. Obai forward to Kadeem Harris. Back to Obai, pulls it back. Be picked up by a Bruzy at the back post, can't shift it out of his feet. Again, good play and defending from Teller inside his own 18-yard box. We said both teams have had chances. That was another one for Cardiff City there. Will Saints get another chance before the half-time whistle? No is the answer. Adam Penwell brings a halt to the first 45 minutes. Kingsley Latham, the man responsible for keeping the scoreline at 0-0 for Saints. It was a big call for Penwell, the referee, very early on in this match. Crossed into the box, not cleared by Jones. Harris fizzed one goalwards. It was straight at Aaron O'Driscoll. Had very little time to get himself out of the way of it. His right arm was by his side. I wouldn't say it was in an unnatural position, really. Very little O'Driscoll could have done to get it any further out of the way. But penalty given. Fortunately for Saints, it didn't matter because they had Kingsley Latham back in goal tonight. And he saved well away to his right-hand side. You can see what it meant to the players. And that means that both teams will go in goalless at the break. We'll have second half commentary to come from Staplewood in around 15 minutes time. But at half-time in Group B of the Premier League Cup, it's Southampton 0, Cardiff City 0. Welcome back to Staplewood. Ahead of our second half coverage of tonight's Premier League Cup clash between Southampton and Cardiff City in Group B. All square at the break then, 0-0. Saints went in at 0-0 though, thanks to goalkeeper Kingsley Latham back in the side this evening in place of Jack Rose. All because of that penalty given away there by the right arm of Aaron O'Driscoll. Brilliant save away to his right hand side though by Kingsley Latham to deny Mark Harris, the Cardiff City winger. Wales under 21 international couldn't get the better of Saints' 19-year-old keeper. That coming inside the opening 3 minutes. A few chances for both teams after that point at either end. Very little to call between either side. The Saints prepared to get us back underway. Referee Adam Penwell will get proceedings started for the second half. Our live coverage available via the Southampton website tonight. Saints TV, you can also watch it on the club's YouTube channel and the Facebook page as well. Saints top of Group B heading into this game tonight on 6 points. 2 points above Blackburn and Watford behind them in second and third. Cardiff bottom of Group B on 2 points without a win in the competition so far this season. It's the second meeting of the two sides as well in the Premier League Cup. Each team will play each other home and away. In the group stages, the top two will then go through to the knockout phase of the competition. The two lineups for you tonight, then let me run through them for you again. Saints lining up 4-2-3-1. Kingsley Latham in goal. A back four of Jan Valery, Alfie Jones, Aaron O'Driscoll and Will Wood. It's Ben Rothorn alongside Callum Slattery in the two holding midfield positions for Saints in front of the back four. Nathan Teller is wide right of an attacking midfield three with Tyreek Johnson wide left. It's Will Smallbone through the middle in behind Michael Obafemi. The four players dropping out of the side from Saints' 3-2 win over West Brom on Monday night. Jack Rose, Sam McQueen, Josh Sims and Jake Hesketh. Jack Rose the only one involved on the bench this evening, along with Richard Bakary, Thomas O'Connor, Sif Madalosa and Olufella Olumola, a striking option from the bench. Michael Obafemi, of course, the lone striker for Saints tonight. Cardiff City matching Saints this evening with a 4-2-3-1. Experience at the back in the form of Matthew Connolly, who didn't quite show it there with that crossfield pass. It's George Ratcliffe in goal for Cardiff, a back four of Paul McKay, Matthew Connolly, the experienced centre-back with over 130 first-team appearances, continuing his comeback from injury here this evening, alongside Kieran Brown, the captain for Cardiff at the back, and Reece Abruzzi at left-back. Their two holding midfielders, Danny Rowe and Jacob Evans. Attacking midfield three of Mark Harris wide right, Kadeem Harris, another first-teamer for Cardiff wide left, and Scott McLean in behind the lone striker, Ogo Obai. Rowe, Evans and McLean all trialists for Cardiff this evening. The Saints come forward through Tyreek Johnson, early cross in search of Obafemi. The bench for Cardiff this evening, Lloyd Humphreys, Warren Burwood's the substitute goalkeeper, Michael Giassi and Corey Watson. Giassi and Watson, two more trialists for Cardiff. Valery, the Frenchman, for Saints in search of Teller. Can't find him, but we'll win a throw. Radi Jaidi, the under-23 manager for Southampton, as he has been all evening, right on the edge of his technical area, marshalling his troops. Wood to Johnson. Good control from Johnson to keep it in play. Wood on the return pass, early cross. Charge down this time from Cardiff. Wood had a lot of joy down the left-hand side for Saints in the first half. A couple of wicked balls into the box. Obafemi and Johnson and Teller unable to find any finishing touches in that opening 45 minutes. We'll hope for more from Saints in this second half. "32 teams involved in the competition, of course, at this stage. 8 groups of 4. As we told you earlier, the top 2 will progress through to the last 16. It's a knockout stage from there on in. Saints still with fixtures to come away at Blackburn and Watford, the 2 teams behind them in the table at the moment. They can, of course, go 5 points clear of those 2 with a win here against Cardiff this evening. Blackburn and Watford will play each other later this month. Lovely play from Teller to get round the outside of his man. Couldn't find Valerie on the underlapping run though. Kieran Wood will clear. The ponytailed centre-back for Cardiff, signed in January. One of 4 new signings for the under-23s. Arriving from National League Southside Wealdstone on a 2.5-year contract. Captains the side this evening as well as Kadeem Harris just receives a bit of a talking to from referee Adam Penwell. The 21-year-old, one or 2 first-team players for Cardiff this evening. We mentioned Connolly earlier, and Harris as well, if you are just joining us, making his return continuing his return from ankle surgery in the summer. Tyreek Johnson for Saints, tight to that byline, early cross in, it's a good one, dealt with by Brown. With a bit of help back there from Jacob Evans as well. 20-year-old in the thick of the action early on in this second half. At the back for Cardiff. Paul McKay, the right back, another one of those 4 signings, came in along with his twin brother for Cardiff last month. Mark Harris, the man who missed the penalty for the Bluebirds inside the opening 3 minutes. To McKay. Overrun from McKay, but good defensive work from Tyreek Johnson. Just to harry and shield the ball out of play. Radi Jaidi on the edge of his technical area, just handing out a few instructions, turns away with a smile on his face because his opposite number for Cardiff immediately responded with instructions to his own player just to match up Southampton. Hence the smile from Jaidi. A break in play for a bit of treatment here to Scott McLean. Trilist from Kilmarnock for Cardiff. Here's White. Callum Slattery got up well to win the header. A bit of a trailing arm there, just caught McLean. Cold night to be down on the ground, injured. I'm sure he won't want to be spending too much time down there. A little bit of magic water should do the trick. He's back up on his feet, which is good to see. Saints, of course, won this competition back in 2014-15. Known then as the Under-21 Premier League Cup, rebranded a couple of seasons ago. Southampton beating Blackburn in the second leg of the final at St Mary's back in 2015. In front of more than 12,000 supporters at St Mary's saw that 2-1 win for Saints. Long searching ball forward, trying to find Tyreek Johnson. Well read by George Ratcliffe on the edge of his own box. Will Wood, of course, involved this evening, was part of that Under-21 Premier League Cup winning side for Southampton. Callum Slattery playing tonight as well was an unused substitution on that evening. Kadeem Harris for Cardiff. Early cross in. It's over the head of Obai. Will Wood will clear at the back post for Saints. Space here for Smallbone. Finds Tyreek Johnson. Tyreek Johnson in search of Teller, who was arriving at that back stick. Not enough angle on the cross. It's a comfortable one for Ratcliffe in the end. It's that cross in from Kadeem Harris. Good step over to create the room. Cross took a bit of a deflection, I think, and that's what sent it up and over the head of Olgo Obai. Valerie, who just got enough on it. And then straight up the other end from Southampton, Tyreek Johnson with the cross. Couldn't get enough whip on it with his left foot. Frustration for the winger for Saints. O'Driscoll finds his skipper, Alfie Jones. Bristol born, 1 goal for him for the under-23s this season, Alfie Jones. Good ball forward in search of Teller. Pulls it back. Smallbone with the shot again, charged down, comes back to Slattery. Good play from Saints on the break there. Valerie down the right to Teller. Lovely pull back to Smallbone. Oh, that was heading in. Blocked from Connolly, didn't know too much about it. Ricocheted out to Callum Slattery. Hit it first time, couldn't keep it on target. And that was the one though, that shot from Smallbone. Good defending in the end from Connolly, but as we said, I'm not sure how much he knew about it. That one will have stung tonight. Again, more promising signs from Saints, just lacking that finishing touch at the moment. Teller, lovely header. Brilliant from Teller to get round the outside of one man. Couldn't get round the outside of Brown as well, though. Kadeem Harris back on defensive duty. Teller trying to win the ball back, gives away the free kick. Good hold-up play from Valerie. That gave time, or Teller the time to get back in. Could win it back cleanly. Nathan Teller, the man who arrived in April after 10 years at Arsenal. The 18-year-old just given a bit of a talking to from Adam Penwell, the referee. Moments before that was a lovely touch from Teller to nearly put himself in. He just cushioned the header as it came over the top to him. Ratcliffe loses his footing but gets enough on the clearance. Obai trying to lift one into the path of Danny Rowe. Hurries Will Wood into the clearance at the back for Saints. Couldn't afford to wait for his goalkeeper to arrive. Good turning, cushioned pass from Obai. Decisive from Will Wood in the end, taking no chances. Risa Abruzzi, the Wales Youth International will whip this one in towards Mark Harris, beaten to the header by O'Driscoll. Comes back out to McLean, lifts one into the box. Great save from Kingsley Latham. The flag was up for offside, but Latham wasn't to know that. A good cross from McLean. Whip and bend on it. Zobai throwing himself goalwards, got it enough on the header. Good save from Latham. Flag was up for offside anyway, so it wouldn't have counted. But again, the Saints keeper had to be alert. Handed a start this evening, Latham, and he's impressed. This big moment, of course, coming inside the opening 3 minutes if you are just joining us on Saints TV this evening. A penalty save to deny Mark Harris inside, as we said, the opening 3 minutes. As we see the first change of the evening as well. That header from Ogo Obai is going to be his last involvement in the evening, replaced by Michael Giassi up front. The man on trial with Cardiff at the moment. Early cross in from Giassi. Cleared at the back by Saints. Teller will try and come away with it. Tackled by Danny Rowe. Teller wants to throw. Adam Penwell, the ref, says it came off of Teller last. Abruzzi. Search of Mark Harris, can't find him. Slight change in shape for Cardiff. Well, not change in shape, but positions, I should say, with Harris moving from the right to play as the lone striker. Giassi, the substitute, going out to that right flank for Cardiff. Find Evans. 1-2 with Kadeem Harris, or thought about the 1-2. Harris holds on to it, gets the cross in. Back to Evans, pulls the trigger, Evans. Good again from Latham, down low to his left. Lively play from Harris. Delicate touch as well into the feed of Jacob Evans. Couldn't get enough direction or power behind the shot. Lovely little flick there from Scott McLean just to set up Jacob Evans. Fortunately for Saints, Evans couldn't find the finish. Will Smallbone into the starting 11 this evening in place of Jake Hesketh. Hampshire lad from Basingstoke. Joined Southampton 9 years ago, back at the age of 8, the 17-year-old. Signed his first pro deal last February. Had a couple of chances charged down this evening on goal, and Saints just pressured into a mistake at the back there. Jones to Slattery, and Slattery trying to find his goalkeeper Kingsley Latham with the back pass. Took a bit of bobble in front of Slattery, to be fair to him, I think. And Saints will have some defending to do now. The look on Radi Jadi's face says it all after that mistake at the back. Kadeem Harris, marked closely by Obafemi, back on defensive duties. Tyreek Johnson there as well. Does well to pick the pocket of Abruzzi. Good defending from Saints there. Obafemi and Johnson, the two attacking players, deep inside their own half. Slattery, early ball forward. Direct run from Obafemi. Support arrives from Johnson, who's just switched out to this right flank for the time being. A little switch up with Nathan Teller, who's gone to the left. Rowthorne finds Teller. Will he have any joy down the left side for a change? Back to Rowthorne. Slattery and Jones. Got Valerie down this right side for the switch if they want it. Instead they'll go Central to Johnson. Tyreek Johnson. Curling effort from Tyreek Johnson. Good play from Jones to find Johnson there. Lovely feet from Johnson just to nip it away there from Jacob Evans. Fine room for the shot. Couldn't get it on target. Just rolled his left foot over the top of the ball. Beautiful from Tyreek Johnson. Shame the finish wasn't there as well. As we told you in the first half, Tyreek Johnson, the scorer of the winning goal when these two sides met back in November in the Premier League Cup. That one scored after 80 minutes. An opportunity to break the deadlock again there. McLean, one back by Slattery to Obafemi. Valerie. Early cross in from Valerie. Risky there from Jacob Evans. Obafemi gets his head in it. Saints can't retain possession though, win it back. Forward to Mark Harris. Good defending from O'Driscoll. Harris got away from Jones there, but his central defensive partner was there to back him up. The Irishman Aaron O'Driscoll. Saints clearance is charged down. That time not quite so cultured from O'Driscoll. Pulling down Scott McLean. Giving away a free kick right in front of the linesman. Kingsley Latham just lining up his wall. Again, it will be the left foot of Abruzzi. Saints have to contend with. Abruzzi. Poor free kick. Doesn't beat the first man. Cleared by Smallbone. Break on for Saints if they want it. Played early from Slattery. Obafemi knew he would have been offside if he had gone, but it won't matter anyway because Saints win the free kick. Slattery with the pass. Free kick given for handball. I think. No, didn't touch the hand. Quite sure what the free kick was given for there. Saints won't mind. Take it quickly to Valerie. Finds Smallbone. Smallbone pull back cut off by Abruzzi. Jones with the header. Gives the foul away. Going to see another change from Cardiff shortly. Abruzzi on two with Brown. Kadeem Harris. Good feed again from Harris. McLean's there in support. Gayassi couldn't find the return pass to complete the triangle of play for Cardiff. Abruzzi. Slattery there again to pick up the pieces for Saints. Scored plenty of goals at home this season, Saints. 25 of the under-23s, 37 goals have come here and at St Mary's over the course of the season. No such luck so far this evening though. Second change of the night for Cardiff City. One Saints will probably be pleased with the experience of Matthew Connolly, 30-year-old, heading off, his evening done. Corey Watson, the man coming on, another one of the trialists for Cardiff this evening. Corey Watson will slot in it right back for the Bluebirds, with Paul McKay moving into that centre-back position alongside Kieran Brown. This game needs a goal really. It's been a quiet second half. It was quiet in the first as well, but there were chances for both sides. Certainly plenty more than we've had so far in the second. A point, of course, would be enough to send Saints 3 points clear of Blackburn and Watford in second and third in Group B. It's Callum Slattery, I think, who's stayed down there for Saints. Again, we'll have a break in play while he receives treatment. Looks to be in a lot of pain, but able enough to express his displeasure. The tackle to referee Adam Penwell. Ooh, nasty one for Slattery there. His ankle just going over a bit of an awkward angle. Ball was there to be won by both players. Slattery, who's given away the free kick, and the follow through there, just a painful one for Slattery. From the substitute Michael Gayassi. Slattery is back up on his feet though and making his way over to the touchline, which is the good news for Saints. Did look to be a bit of an awkward fall from Slattery and twist of the ankle. On that follow through from Gayassi. Looks like he will be okay to continue in a moment. Free kick though for Saints to defend from Scott McLean. Brown up with the header. No one there in a blue shirt to pick up the second ball. Time for Smallbone. Obafemi's the out ball, surrounded by blue shirts. As Callum Slattery makes his way back onto the pitch. One back by Teller. Smallbone's there as well, finds Obafemi. Valerie. Teller. Good play from Teller around the outside of his man. Early cross into the back post. Wood to recycle the play for Saints. Slattery moving well after that late tackle. And an early shot from Slattery as well, never really troubling George Ratcliffe. We'll see some great skill on display this evening. More good feet there again from Nathan Teller. Got a little bit lucky, but still had the quick feet to slide it through the legs of his man. Here's that strike from Slattery. Saw the space open up. Pulled the trigger early. Always slicing away from the goal. Picking out the cameraman instead. O'Driscoll. Valerie. Teller under pressure, bit of head tennis between the two sides. Cardiff will make their third and final change of the evening shortly. Their first team, of course, in action this evening, drawing 1-1 away at Millwall in the Championship. Southampton, of course, have to wait until Sunday when they host Liverpool in the Premier League. We're Maurizio Pellegrino's side. Early ball forward in search of Teller. Read by George Ratcliffe, the 17-year-old goalkeeper for Cardiff. And that will give Cardiff the chance to make that third and final change. Lloyd Humphries is the man who's going to be introduced. Just over 15 minutes to go. We'll slot in the middle of midfield for Cardiff City. Kadeem Harris, of course, the man who's gone off for Cardiff, so both their first team players off the field for this final quarter of an hour. Humphries into the action early. Harris, good feet from Harris, lays it off to Danny Rowe, pull back from Rowe. Substitute at the back post is Michael Giassi, who fires past Kingsley Latham. Nothing the Saints goalkeeper can do on this occasion. And Cardiff have the lead at Staplewood. It's Southampton 0, Cardiff City 1. It's Mark Harris who found Danny Rowe. Rowe's pullback made it all the way to the back post. Good finish from Giassi, the substitute, introduced in the second half. The inside of the right foot. Kingsley Latham got a hand on it, not enough though. And the Saints number 1 is beaten. You can see what that meant to Michael Giassi on trial at Cardiff. Best way to make an impression, stick the ball in the back of the net. Chance for Saints to respond though, straight from the kickoff almost. Obafemi driving forwards, couldn't sort his feet out. Instead Cardiff will spring away again through the goal scorer Giassi. Late tackle from Giassi on O'Driscoll to give away that free kick. Just overran the ball. Should things stay the same here at Staplewood, Saints would remain top of Group B on 6 points. Cardiff would leapfrog Blackburn and Watford for the time being into second on 5 points. Early cross in, it's over the head of Ratcliffe, the goalkeeper, and dealt with at the back post by Abruzzi. Nathan Teller waiting for the ball to drop, potentially for Saints. Valoui with the throw to Teller, runs under the foot of Teller. Frustration for Saints. There is that cross in from the left. Wasn't dealt with by Ratcliffe. Curling ball from Tyreek Johnson. That's what made it difficult from Ratcliffe, was always moving away from him. Fortunately for him, it was Abruzzi there and not Teller with the header. And Radi Jaidi now to respond to that goal from Cardiff with a double change of his own. Thomas O'Connor, the man coming on, Callum Slattery, will be replaced. Thomas O'Connor will go and sit in the middle of midfield for Saints. Slattery, of course, picking up a bit of a knock a few moments ago. May well have something to do with the change by Radi Jaidi. And that second change, Nathan Teller. This evening's work is done. And Sif Madalosa will have just over 10 minutes to try and make an impact for Southampton down that right wing. Madalosa, the South African, been at the club since under 11, signed from Meon Milton. Another one of Saints under 18s contingent involved this evening. Loves the dribble. Saints will be keen to see plenty of that in this final 10 minutes as they try and get themselves back in this game. Rowthorne shifts it out of his feet well and quickly and finds Valerie. Cuts back inside. Good run from Madalosa to open up the space for Valerie. Keeps going, does Valerie, pulls the trigger, charge down again, but it will run out wide to Madalosa. Deflected cross in. Better from Saints. Jones. Smallbones there. Finds Madalosa. Lovely 1-2 between the pair. Good cross in from Smallbone as he was squeezed wide under pressure, couldn't find a red and white shirt. Brilliant driving run from Jan Valerie. Headed all the way to the 18-yard box. Managed to pull the trigger as well, but as Cardiff have done on a number of occasions when Saints have been in a position to strike the ball from inside the 18-yard box. Cardiff have produced 3 or 4 good blocks tonight to deny Southampton. And that very much the reason why Saints find themselves behind to that second half goal from Michael Giassi. And we're going to see, by the looks of it, the first man into referee Adam Penwell's book this evening. It is the substitute for Cardiff, Lloyd Humphreys. He receives the yellow card. Jones. Trying to find the run of Obafemi. Ratcliffe was out to the edge of his box to clear. Not any distance on it. Valerie gets play moving quickly for Saints. O'Connor. The Irishman on as a second half substitute for Saints. Republic of Ireland Youth International. Joined the club back in 2015 and swiftly signed a professional contract in the 15-16 season. But O'Connor is Smallbone. Looking for O'Connor on the edge of the box. Doesn't find him. But Madalosa will get the ball. Madalosa with the shot deflected. For a moment there, it looked like that was going to sneak inside of the post. Quick play from Madalosa just to pounce on the loose ball there. Moved it onto his left foot quickly. Was able to pull the trigger. Again, good defending from Cardiff though, and Saints find room for that shot. They get the block in. Smallbone will deliver the corner. In towards the 6-yard box again, not dealt with convincingly by Ratcliffe. This time he's got support from his defenders to clear the ball. Coolly done from Ratcliffe there as the long ball forward from Saints came into the box. Not under a lot of pressure. But a deft touch from Ratcliffe, showing his footballing skills, the Cardiff keeper. O'Connor wanted a throw in for Saints. Doesn't get one. The under-23s next in action a week on Monday, 19th of February. Return to league action in Premier League 2, Division 2 of Premier League 2, away at Newcastle. Be a long trip for Radi Jahidi's side. Back-to-back wins in the league for Saints, as they try and make their way up the table and push for a place in the playoffs in that division. Final change for Southampton coming up. When you're looking for a goal, probably no better man to call on at the moment than Olufella Olamola, recently back from a decent spell on loan at League 2 Yeovil. It's going to be Tyreek Johnson, the man coming off for Saints. Some decent deliveries in Johnson, but struggled to really have an impact on the game this evening. Olufella Olamola comes on in search of that equaliser for Southampton. 7 goals in 29 appearances for Yeovil in League 2. Decent return for him. Still just 20 years of age. Yeovil very keen to potentially keep him on loan for the rest of the season. Saints under-23s grateful to have him in the squad tonight, though. Olamola. Madalosa can't win that one back for Saints. Cardiff again will try and break down this left. That's where their goal came from in the second half. Miscommunication in the middle of the park from Saints. Abruzzi should have pulled the trigger, tried the clever through ball. There was no one on his right hand side, 2 players to his left. Jones. Valerie charged down quickly by McLean. 5 trialists now on the pitch for Cardiff. You can see they're all trying to make an impact. One of them scoring the goal. McLean there, chasing everything down. Ball forward in search of Olamola. Finds him. He's got support arriving from Wood if he needs it. Good turn from Olamola though. He's going to go himself. Lovely pull back to O'Connor with the shot. Pulled the trigger early. Thomas O'Connor couldn't wrap that left foot around it enough. Good direct play from Olamola down that left hand side. Picked out O'Connor really well. Wrapped his left foot around the ball, just couldn't get enough curl on it to get it on target. Again, George Ratcliffe not really tested. Hasn't really had to make a save that I can remember this evening. He's been challenged from crosses and corners. Saints have deliberately put right under the nose of Ratcliffe, but every shot I think that Southampton have had has either been off target or it's been charged down by Cardiff. Obafemi will hurry Ratcliffe into the clearance. Wood with the header. Search of Smallbone. Gayassi trying to find Harris. Well read by Jones. We'll see shortly how much stoppage time Saints will have to try and find themselves an equaliser. Rowe can't bring it under control on the chest. Valerie. Rowthorne. Support further forward from Olamola. Wood finds him. It's a good tackle over that far side by Paul McKay. O'Connor. Forced back to Rowthorne. Jones will drive into the Cardiff half and find Madalosa. Time perhaps for one last chance for Saints to find that equaliser. Valerie, can he find room for the cross? Support still there from O'Connor. Rowthorne. Smallbone. Lovely ball forward in search of Olufala Olamola. Just too long. I'd love to tell you how much stoppage time there was, but the fourth official too quick for the cameramen, too quick for me as well, from our commentary position here this evening. I think it might have been 2 minutes, I'm being told by spectators away to our right this evening. Too cold to be stood out there with the substitute board. Good thinking from the fourth official to get himself back to his seat quickly, and that's a late tackle there from Abruzzi on Sif Madalosa. Abruzzi keen to quickly get himself back into position. Referee Adam Penwell thinking otherwise. And he will be the second man into his book tonight, joining his teammate Lloyd Humphreys. I don't think he can have too many complaints with that one. Madalosa saw him coming, nipped the ball away, drew the foul. Hook, line and sinker Reece Abruzzi. Straight into referee Adam Penwell's book. Chance for O'Connor to deliver for Saints. Good claim from George Ratcliffe on the edge of his box. Just clearing out the danger for Cardiff City. Southampton running out of time. Heading for, as it stands, their second defeat in the Premier League Cup this season, Group B. They'll stay top though, with Blackburn and Watford to play later in the month. Adam Penwell just trying to get Cardiff to hurry up with that throw-in, taking, as you'd expect, being 1-0 up, as much time as possible. Saints' clearance is charged down, it will fall to McLean, can't sort his feet out, good defending from Jones. Chance to send Madalosa away on the break. Lovely touch again from McLean, is Cardiff clear. Rowe's there in support, again it's McLean to Rowe. This is how Cardiff got their goal this evening. And Rowe will win a corner. And with minutes, if not seconds left of this game this evening, Cardiff exactly where they'd want to be, deep inside Southampton's half. A frustrating evening for Saints. They've been in the game throughout. Haven't really had any clear shots on target. Plenty of shots, but as we said earlier on in the commentary, all charged down by Cardiff. Chance for Obafemi here, does well to get away from his man. He's got Olamola further forward, can't find him. More frustration for Southampton. Jones with the clearance. No one there in a red and white shirt. And there is the full-time whistle. Southampton suffer their second defeat in Group B of the Premier League Cup. A frustrating evening for Radi Jahidi's side. They'll stay top of Group B though on 6 points. Cardiff will leapfrog Blackburn and Watford up into second on 5 points. Of course, Blackburn and Watford will have that game in hand. Southampton with trips to Blackburn and Watford to come in this competition as well. Remember, it's the top two who qualify for the knockout stage. Saints still right in with an opportunity to do that. But a frustrating evening. Saints up against it from word go, really. Penalty given away. Mark Harris's shot canning into the arm of Aaron O'Driscoll, and it was Harris who took the penalty. A great save by Kingsley Latham to deny Harris, though. That inside the opening 3 minutes of the game this evening. Saints did have their chances, but it was Cardiff who were the team who managed to put one in the back of the net. The substitute Michael Gaiassi in the second half. The ball from Danny Rowe across the face of goal found Gaiassi, the trialist, at the back post. And that goal, the difference between the two sides this evening. And with the first team in action on Sunday when they host Liverpool at St Mary's in the Premier League for the under-23s. They return to Premier League 2 action away at Newcastle on Monday the 19th of February. But from Staplewood this evening, Southampton will stay top of Group B but suffer their second defeat in the Premier League Cup of the season. Full time from Staplewood. Southampton 0, Cardiff City 1.